Hey guys, welcome to the Heart of David. Hope you guys are all doing well today. I have a lot of different topics I want to discuss today, but I have to put a title for this. So I'm going to put Pretribulation Rapture believers. You thought you would be gone long ago, and you're still holding on to that hope. I understand, but it's not going to happen. You've fallen for a grand delusion. Not the delusion, not the lie, but you have fallen for a big lie. And I know you will continue to hold on to that belief as everything around you changes, as you already know in the back of your mind, even though you're trying to push it to the side, but you can't, on the back burner. I'll get to that. I think I probably said it already, haven't I? I guess I'll start with that then. I have a bunch of things to talk about anyways, so those are Elon Musk and signs he's making with his hand. Something that I've realized that I may have wrong in my belief system pertaining to revelation. If something points something out, if I say no, I think it's like this, and another person points it out, the saying goes, be a Berean, go look to see if those things are true. And what I said to you guys for the longest time may actually not be true, but you'll see why though. We'll see, you'll understand, and it's worth looking at. It has to do with you, when you and I are going to be meeting the Lord in the air. In any case, it's one or the other. That space rock, that is, I believe they said it's 3.1% chance now of hitting Earth in 2032. The 7 Noahide laws, new alliances, faith versus enduring. There's a lot of stuff to cover here. And I have to take breaks. My back is, I guess I'll see what my back is like, because when I stand for long periods, it can start to act up. Trying to stay in a camera shot for too long with pain is hard enough, abdominal pain, but it feels better anyways right now. So what do I start with here? How about I just start with pre-tribulation rapture? So that's what I fell into when I first studied the Bible, when I first got into stuff, and I found there's just so much confusion. Then they make it look like, no, there's no confusion, but there was, and God is not the author of confusion. He gives you ways to find out how or when around it's going to be, according to the Bible. I don't mean a date. How do I approach this? I'm not going to approach it scripturally. That would be just a waste of time for me, because it would take a long time. I know how they try to go back and say, no, it was really, they were really looking at this around the 1st or 3rd century or something like that, grasping at straws. And I understand that even today, you can look at something in the Bible that hasn't been seen in 2,000 years. Sure, that can happen. And you can develop a belief system around them. That's something, listen, that's what the Bible is. It unlocks mysteries at different times. It doesn't all come at once. But this is such a flawed belief system. And I held on to that hope, and I found, hey, if I don't prepare for this, I'm going to be in trouble. And if you try to tell someone who believes in the Pretribulation Rapture. They even write articles, of which I've read many, that state that, you know, you are speaking against God. You are against God if you even go to that. If you even consider that you're going to have to fight in any way. You just sit around and boom, you're gone. All you're trying to do is help a brother or sister be prepared for what may be coming. And that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I have been doing for at least a year and a half anyways, if not 2 years. About a year and a half. Day by day, I'm trying to think of how to incorporate what I'm saying here with my other things, because I don't want them to overlap. What is happening right now is unbelievable, unthinkable. Do you see all the alliances being made? Listen, I believe that the Antichrist has been revealed, and that is Donald Trump. You have your belief systems, I have mine. There's a lot of wickedness out there now. The Hegelian dialect, problem, solution. Biden administration, solution, Trump. You get it? They make their hand signals like this. Elon Musk just did it for the first time. He was with Trump in a meeting with that Fox News cat guy, and he was sitting there and he was making that signal. It was so obvious. They are Satanists. Do you get it? We are in the very end. We're in the end. These are the last groups of people that are going to take power, except for the you didn't think you would see any of this, did you? Germany to Canada, we have your back against the States. Or how about, Europe's going to put troops in Greenland to defend against the States. It looks like the whole Middle East is going to blow up, and it keeps shifting and switching. North Korea, Russia, Ukraine, China is taking this and that. Egypt at the border with mass tanks and troops. I can't think of it. There's earthquakes. The super volcano in Italy just looks like it's about to blow. You don't believe me? They're having hundreds of quakes right now. Bird flu. Listen, I could go on for a long time. You understand. It's never ending. There is no end. It's called the birth pains. But you're going to say that. No. We're just going to see here a little bit of it, and then we're going to be gone. They go as far as to say a nuclear bomb's going to go pew, and as soon as just before it hits the ground, they're gone. That's what they believe. And all you want to do is try to warn them and say, hey, listen, maybe build a little bit of food, keep your faith in God. You may have to fight a bit. You may have to go through tribulation. What makes you think that all the people who are being killed in India and China and all over the wherever, brutally killed, what makes you think you're better than them? Because you've never been through things in your life? Saying you haven't. But you get my point, right? Be prepared. I have to bring up the chapter that says, I'm not going to bring it up here, but I saw it yesterday. It says quite clearly in the verse that the Antichrist must be revealed first. I don't have enough time to go over it. I really don't. Yeah, I don't have enough time to go over it. But scripturally, when you look at it, it's clear that it says the Antichrist must come first. The falling away, and then the Antichrist must. In any case, I'm trying not to make a video too long. Here you are. Here you are. The world will go to war. They will go to war. They're being preparing for war for at least a year. Listen to this. Listen, guys, just prepare, okay? I'm trying to nail into your heads a look at where you are. So, Donald Trump is the Antichrist, and Elon Musk is the false prophet. He has the power as the first beast to do anything he wants, and miracles and signs and fire coming down from heaven. How much do you, what else do you want? MAGA, what does MAGA stand for? Church of Satan. 5th highest position, the highest position, the level 5. Go look at it. Church of Satan, look under affiliates, go to number 5. It's called MAGA, MAGA. Elon Musk, I am dark MAGA. I am gothic MAGA. Now you see him wearing that black hat, making the Satan symbols, the inverted triangle with his hands. X, what is X? Well, it's a cross, but it's like kind of bent out the other way. Abomination. Not only that, you know what it is, eh? One of those bars, okay, it goes one bar and another bar. One is thicker than the other is more thin. It's part of the, you know, the protractor look of the, I don't know if you call it protractor, I forget the name of the math. The Freemason sign. Do you get it? They're Freemasons. You're so fooled, man. You're so fooled. Trump Tower, 666 feet high, not 663. And even if they claim 663, that's very close. Why does he live on the architect himself says it's 666 feet high. I designed the building. He lives on the 66th floor to the 68th, but why did he pick that one? On this, so go up 6 floors, the 6th to the 12th, right? That's 6 floors, 6 to 12 is 6 floors. Across 6 and out 6 is an inverted triangle. Trump did this when they designed the tower. Go look, find the pictures. If you don't believe me, they are Satanists. The falling away has occurred. All these evangelicals, the people around him that are going to enforce stuff on us are apostate Christians. Go look at the people surrounding him. Go look at the pictures of an entire room of people putting their arms on Trump. You know who's in that? People like apostates who you see on TV who take all your money. Like Kenneth Copeland. These are the people who are ruling over and helping. It's crazy. I know the Antichrist. I hope you'll find that out soon enough. You don't think he could be? You're wrong. He fulfills pompous words. I am the only one who can fix this. Have you seen all the I ams of him? I can do this. I can do that better than you. I am better at this. I am better at that. There's compilations. It's unimaginable. Both of them will appear as angels of light. So as you know, you're waiting for the devil to literally come on the earth, which he has. You're going to say, well, he's not this way, but you willingly forget that the false prophet has 2 horns like a lamb. So he's going to appear as a lamb. Does Elon Musk appear as a lamb? He sure does. But the way he speaks and the things he does is a dragon. Who else makes fire come down from heaven and does all these miracles? Calls everything X, which is Freemasonry. There's other occult meanings to that. He owns a space company. He's got the Earth. Have you ever seen the picture of the Earth surrounded? You'll be blown away to see what the images look like. It covers the whole globe. His Starlink, Neuralink, SpaceX. He owns the free waves too. Prince of the power of the air. I can't believe the people, like I understand, people can't know things all at the same time. And it will become more apparent Donald Trump is being very, very erratic. Do you notice that? The world is starting to pit themselves against him. And it's obvious why. Alliances are forming. It looks like the European Union, like the old Roman Empire, could be coming back together. It looks like it because it appears that Donald Trump is going to leave NATO. I don't know what's going to happen, but there are alliances being made almost every single day. Germany to Canada, we got your back. Wow. Wow. Something else I learned. So look at this. If you're in doubt about Donald Trump and the deadly head wound, it was a fulfillment, but there was a double fulfillment to that. There was a double fulfillment to that. After that happened, everyone was like, wow, could that be? Could that be Revelation 13? But, you know, a lot of people are like, that's just a coincidence. But it was the beast that was, is not, and yet is. He was in power, lost his power, regained his power. Get it? And I've put a lot of my time into studying to see if it was, you know, where it says, man, there's a lot of study, isn't there? You know, and he will also be the eighth. You know, we were talking about John's time when he was doing Revelation. At that time, it was the Roman Empire, and they're talking about empires. But I'm here to tell you that all that study is going to almost mean nothing. Because the Antichrist is here, and that's what matters. The Seventh-day Adventists put forth a very good understanding of the bear and the beasts and all that kind of stuff from America to Babylon, but I'm sorry, it's not turning out that way. The Pope and the Vatican, I don't know what's going to come of that. The Pope is very sick right now. He's gotten double pneumonia or something like that. And you know, like the prophecy of the popes and all that, who knows what happens with that system. But they may be a conduit, right, to everything that comes together with the Abrahamic faith and Noahide laws, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But I want to get to this. I thought of this before anyone said something. I'm not boasting, okay? This was just, I was like, one day I'm like, whoa, could that fit? The beast had 7 heads and 10 horns. People think America has nothing to do with prophecy. You couldn't be more wrong. It appears that everything that's happening in the world is on this side of the world. That's affecting all the rest of the world. 7 heads, 7 kingdoms, because they're heads of power. What are those heads? The G7. The G7. Canada, the States, Britain, Italy, Japan, Germany, France. What's the 10? I had to look this up. I'm like, whoa. The Antichrist has been revealed, and then I'm finding out these other things. 7 heads, G7. 10 horns, BRICS, 10. I'm like, there were a lot more nations going to join BRICS, so I went and looked immediately. 10 nations. Wow. Wow. Thank you, dear Lord, for Spirit, for letting me know these things. Maybe this is too complicated for you and you're not willing to accept it. And if I'm wrong in some of these things, I don't think I'm far off. We're so close. I believe we're in tribulation. And it's going to get a lot worse someday. Our world is shifted drastically. If you're not looking, you're going to miss it all. And I am one who keeps up with the news. Though I don't dwell on it, I have too much to do. I'm in university and I work. I have a lot of other things to take care of in my health. But I do look at the news, and I do spend my time in Bible study. And I see what's happening, and I do believe I have good discernment. I may get some things wrong, and as they start to reveal themselves, you acclimatize to them. This is the way I think it is. Not many people are going to be told the truth in the Spirit. But it will start to come when you start to recognize who Donald Trump is. When you start to recognize that, and you start to see the things that he's doing. Taking Gaza, he fulfills Daniel 11 by doing that. I don't know if he's telling the truth about Canada, but anyways, you know, he says things and then, like someone commented, he says something and sees if it sticks, right? And if it sticks, then he works with it. I don't know if I would say he has NPD, but it's pretty close. People think that he's a good man. They're going to find out soon that his full intentions in his mind are about wealth and riches. I don't care how he looks to you. How smart do you think Satan is? He's going to trick the majority of people. 99.9% of the earth is going to be tricked. So what makes you think you're so smart? I ask you to do this. If you don't believe me about this, and I speak to Trumpian Christians, you're in what's called the Hegelian dialect. Everything that happened since this was purposeful. Everything that happened in the States dictates what happens in the world. It creates unrest. A lot of unrest, and it did. So this happened. And the administration, there was just one disaster after the next over the last 4 years, say 5. And they weren't even bringing help to these disasters, and it seemed like they were causing them all. Like the Afghanistan withdrawal, Hawaii, Lahaina, Pennsylvania, around that area, what was it called? That poor place that they took the chemicals and burned them. It was, you know, the hurricane, FEMA, all those things, purposeful, stealing money, Biden's, all that stuff. It's called the Hegelian dialect. They bring you to a spot where, you know, like if it's your country, you know, you just want things to go back to normal. That's how you're fooled. And then all of a sudden you're left with a person who was a symptom, like Adolf Hitler was. He was a symptom of all the unfairness that was happening to Germany through France and other countries from World War I. And that's how they're born. And you know what? Donald Trump is just a man, and the power that's under him is just Satan. There's nothing special about him. Actually, he will go into perdition. This is what I'm asking you to do. Start watching. If you don't believe me, all those things I told you about his tower, just his tower alone, go look up what MAGA means. Now start looking at videos about the IMs. Only I can do this. I know my Bible better than anyone else. Like he says he lies, he throws truth to the ground. That is probably the fulfillment, throwing truth to the ground. And he tells them so much that people believe him. Now, of course he's going to do good things. That's what the Hegelian dialect is, problem solution. He is the highest Satanist. Don't you find it strange that all of a sudden Musk comes in and they're like best buddies and he's wielding the power of Donald Trump? And it just, what are the biblical chances that Neuralink that Musk has, he's associated with the president? He's got the first year. He's got the ear of the president. Number one, he's virtually the president too. That he has what Revelation 13 asks us to calculate. Calculate the number of the beast. It's the number of man, 666. We will get a mark. Neuralink in Greek gematria, 666. Do you think God did that to fool us or to tell us something? It's going to be invoked through that. People are going to get a mark through that, buy or sell. And of anything that I would pick on earth to be the mark, the most powerful thing that could even possibly be part of Revelation where people can't die would be that. Who knows what that thing can do? There are things that thing can do already that they're not telling us. It's all there. It's crazy because my friend pointed this out to me, and I thought it was nuts. Not him nuts, but I thought it was nuts. And then just one day I saw it. I just couldn't believe it. And then I started to see everything surrounding it and everything coming together at the right time as the world's just like falling apart. It's not getting better with Trump, it's getting worse. Wasn't he supposed to do all these different things? He was given a crown, a silver crown. Go look it up. In 2023, the Jews literally think this guy is a Cyrus. They put him on a coin. They sell even those coins in China by the millions, I believe. The whole world started bowing to Trump. You go against him, people don't. They end up on his side because he invokes fear in you. It's what he does. I feel sorry if you're on that side now and you still don't know. And I pray for my viewers to see it. I pray for all, but I don't know. Sometimes I don't think prayers in a big general sense are very powerful. Pray for my viewers. I heard someone say this. I don't know. Who knows? Isn't that funny about this space rocket? It keeps getting attention. Whether it's even real or not. We'll see how much, it'd be funny if the percentage-wise kept going up and up and up. Because someone pointed out, I don't know, I'm just entertaining this. They said, what if this is the rock that destroys Babylon? Or, the part in Daniel where it says, the statue, the 10 toes are just, it's broken without human means. The rock, Jesus Christ. Wouldn't that be something? I don't know if they know the real size or not, but it'll disappear in 2028, I think. Or no, it'll reappear. So it's going to disappear. So they have to get all the info they know now. And this is a real thing. And China's already saying we got to build something against this because it's that 3.1% chance of hitting Earth. They said the size of Empire State Building. And then they said it was as big as the rock that hit, the asteroid meteor that hit in Russia in 2013. I think it's bigger than that. They said Tunguska, so it's got to be pretty big. 500 times the strength of the Hiroshima bomb. 8 million tons of TNT. I have a good memory for those things, but I want to bring something to your attention. I saw some videos about the Noahide laws. Do you know about those? I'm going to read you the Noahide laws. They're pretty easy. I have to eat here just for a second because I'm trying to make time here as well. I can't eat quickly. I'm going to talk about the Noahide laws in a second. I tell you, there's nothing better on earth aside from Jesus Christ than feeling well. Like my back. That can come back very quickly, but I pray not. So, what are the 7 Noahide laws? What are they even like? No. I almost was, that would have shut my video off. I'm glad I didn't. Thank you, Spirit. If I minimize all my windows, then the video turns off for some reason. All right, 7 Noahide laws, and why is this going to matter to us? So, every year, and this is what I just learned, and I don't know a lot about it. Every year, 5 Jewish men come to Donald Trump and the presidents. 5 on one side, 5 on the other. They cite the Noahide laws. And they say something like, he didn't get into power, Trump, the second time because he didn't sign the Noahide laws. This is an abomination to Jesus Christ. And they're going to try to put it on us. And I can see how this is all going to come down. Now they're going to try to enforce this on us. And Trump is starting to pay attention to this. There's much more that I can't get into. This has to do with the Babylonian Talmud, which is Antichrist. The 7 Noahide laws as traditionally enumerated in the Babylonian Talmud. Babylonian. That's all you need to know. There's a lot of stuff that I hear in the Talmud. I'm thinking of studying it. If it's 3,500 pages, I may go through the whole thing. A lot of stuff, a lot of bad stuff towards us as Christians and about Jesus. The 7 Noahide laws are a set of ancient commandments that are considered to apply to all of humanity. You can see this, the Abrahamic faiths, right? And if you don't go by this, why would this work with everyone? Because they're a universal type of law that even the Muslims, even the Buddhists could come to, right? And those 3 Abrahamic faith houses are there right now. And they're going to make peace in the Middle East. All these people associated with Trump, right? Jared Kushner. Not to worship idols. That's good, but what does that mean for you and I? We can't worship Jesus. Jesus is an idol. Don't curse God. Good. Don't commit murder. Good. Not to commit adultery or sexual immorality. Well, I agree with that, but I don't think you can enforce that. Listen, we have a choice. That's what Jesus was about. You choose me or you don't. So sexual immorality, adultery, sexual immorality, all those things. It appears that these may be laws and they will cut off your head if you don't follow them. You know we're going to be beheaded. Now you're going to say, are we really going to go that far? I'm going to get into a last part after this. Do not steal good. Not to eat flesh torn from a living animal. Hey, Paul says everything is good to eat, well, with prayer and thanksgiving. And, when Peter said, to Paul in Acts, not to eat things sacrificed, this and that, well, that was before, but Paul's ministry was changing and new things were happening. Everything is to be given by thanksgiving. So nothing is unclean. Jesus says there is nothing unclean, right, that we put in our mouths. To establish courts of justice. The laws are considered to be a link between Judaism and Christianity. Considered as universal norms of ethical conduct. There's something that you understand that the whole earth could understand. I'm going to pace here, and I'm going to read one more thing. I'm going to get into Revelation. So look in the Noahide laws. I believe they're coming. Do it. So let's look at Revelation. So this is what I was telling people, and I could be wrong. Let's just go to the King James Version. We're going to go to my stomach, you can hear. Actually, I'm going to go to the other one because it's New King James, which isn't bad. There's nothing wrong with the New King James Version. They take out the these and the thys and those types of things. They don't twist it in any other way. Second seal, conflict on earth. All these things are scarcity on earth, widespread death. This is going to happen when the pale horse comes. You can see a building. You can see what countries are likely going to fight who. I see this and I see all these volcanoes and earthquakes as everything. It's like I feel the whole creation groaning, right? Like Paul says. And everything's just like boiling to the surface. That's how I see this. Cry of the martyrs, fifth seal. We're going to be here before that. So I'm talking to you pre-tribbers, because you and I, full well that the Bible says we are not appointed to wrath. So as I've said in videos, so don't you think we should be looking in the Bible for when wrath begins? Because when wrath begins, that means you and I are gone. That tells us that's when you and I go and meet the Lord in the air. That would be the most common sense idea to look at. That should be the first thing you do, without having to go down some rabbit holes. So from the pale horse, the fourth seal, and the name of him sat him on his death, and hell followed with them, and power was given to them over a fourth of the earth to kill with sword, hunger, death by the beasts of the earth. We're coming up to that. And there's a lot of death happening right now, and you cannot deny that. He opened up the fifth seal, and I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord? People are being beheaded, probably as we speak. Holy and true until you judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth. Then a white robe was given to each of them, and it was said to them that they should rest a little while longer, until both the number of their fellow servants and brethren who would be killed as they were was completed. Now, a video I was watching of a guy, I'm not going to say any names or anything like that. I thought he was off a bit, but I got revelation by him. He thinks that we're going to be beheaded. We're going to be here till then. And listen, what I had wrong with this person was, it's possible. And you know what? I think it's more likely than not. Why? Look how close we are. I know who the false prophet is. I know who the Antichrist is. It can't be far off. Look what they're doing. So there's going to be a lot of people having their heads cut off. And is that going to be because of the Noahide laws? Trump is making a lot of different things happen. He's ordering things to happen. He's taking Putin's side. Have you seen? He's taking Vladimir Putin's side. If you haven't noticed, a lot could be said about that. I looked, he opened up the sixth seal, and behold. So after all those who were beheaded, they're saying, "How long, Lord?" And he gave them a white robe, right? They should rest a little while longer. The sixth seal. So this is what I was talking about. I don't ever mean to steer people wrong, okay? This is where I thought we're gone. Sixth seal. I looked when he opened the sixth seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became like blood. That's how we kind of know, right? And I may be right, and the stars of heaven fell to the earth as a fig tree drops its late figs when it's shaken by a mighty wind. Because if you look in the book of Joel and other places, right, we know it's going to be, this is what it's going to look like before the great day. Stars of heaven fell to the earth as a fig tree drops its late figs when it's shaken by a mighty wind. Then the sky receded as a scroll when it's rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved out of its place. And the kings of the earth, the great men, rich men, commanders, people, underground cities, bunkers. There are huge underground cities you have no idea about. Every slave, free man, hid themselves in the caves and the rocks of the mountains, saying to the mountains and rocks, this is happening in real time as we are speaking. Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath. Listen, there's the first place in Revelation. This is Jesus Christ talking. This is his revelation. Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath, that's twice now, has come. And who is able to stand? So this is where I kind of got into it with someone else. And they showed me something. And I'm going to go there. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 15. You know this one. Everyone knows this one. And then I'll go back to Revelation again. I couldn't explain all this stuff, guys, if it wasn't for the Holy Spirit in me. I couldn't. All right, so, Paul says, behold, 1 Corinthians 15:51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. What does KJV say? Is it trump or trumpet? Let's take a look. Was that I just read? Trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible. This is what someone commented on, and I read it, and I said, okay, I'll take a look. And we shall all be changed, for this corruptible must put on incorruption. So this is when we meet the Lord in the air. This is the end for us, for those who believe. So I said, well, how can it be at the last trump? Are we not going to be saved at the sixth seal, as I just read to you? For his wrath has come. If we're not appointed to wrath, then when his wrath has come, then we must be saved then. So it made me want to go to Revelation. Now, which one is it? I have to find this. The seventh trumpet. Let's go to Revelation 8. Sorry, I'm not the best at finding exact places in Revelation. Let me see here. I'll find it. Prelude to the seven trumpets. Fifth trumpet, bottomless pit. Revelation 10. Two witnesses. Resurrects. Let's read this. I'm going to take a sip and I'm going to read this. And then I'm going to end this. I don't know. I really don't know. But I saw something in here that made me think, this could be it. This is what Paul says. Okay. So it's still the same theory that I'm looking for wrath. So I know that much. Seventh trumpet. Then the seventh angel sounded. There were loud voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world have become... So we're going to be here till then? Let's see. The kingdoms of this world have become the kingdoms of our Lord and his Christ. And he shall reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders who sat before God on their thrones fell on their faces and worshiped God, saying, we give you thanks, O Lord God Almighty, the one who is, who was, and who is to come. Because you have taken your great power and reigned. So he's taken it back. So is this the point? The nations were angry, and your wrath has come. Sorry, guys. I don't know. They're both possible. The nations were angry and your wrath has come. And the time of the dead that they should be judged. I don't know. And that you should reward your servants, the prophets and the saints, and those who fear your name, small and great, and should destroy those who destroy the earth. Then the temple of God was opened in heaven, and the ark of his covenant was seen in his temple. And there were lightning, noises, thunderings, earthquake, and a great hail. It's hard to know what the sequence is going to be. It could be either or. We may have been saved long before this. This just may be the point where it is the end, because the earth is going to be hit by all these different plagues, vials and stuff, all the rest of the stuff, and we are not appointed to wrath. So are we going to be in heaven during that time is a good question. I don't know. I just accept the time that we're in right now. I see it. I'm glad. It looks like, to me, that war could break out anywhere. It's literally that, just one little match, that's it. And all the rest go off. And what I mean by that is when it was the Ukraine, when it was just the Ukraine, when it was China thinking about taking Taiwan, and when it was, Israel and all the surrounding nations, even then was bad enough. Now it's all other countries. People pit up against each other who you would never think would be before. It's happening. Pre-trib rapturers, you're wrong. What is here, you never thought you were going to have to go through. But I pray for you. God bless.